Have you ever looked at your life, or maybe your parents' life, and wondered how it's possible to be working this hard, doing everything you were told to do, and still have absolutely nothing saved at the end of the month? Because here's a question that might hit closer than you expect. If both parents are working full-time, bringing in steady income, doing their best to be responsible, why are so many families still one emergency away from financial collapse? Picture this for a second. A family of 5 living in a modest home in a mid-sized American city. Nothing extravagant. 2 parents, both working full-time jobs. 3 kids. Mornings are rushed, evenings are exhausting. Weekends disappear into errands and recovery. On paper, they are doing okay. Their combined income is around what most people would consider stable. Not rich, not struggling, just normal. And yet, behind that normal-looking life is a reality most people never talk about. Their savings account is sitting at 0. Not low, 0. And if the car breaks down next week or someone ends up in the hospital, everything starts to unravel. So here's the uncomfortable question. How does that happen? Because if you're watching this, chances are you felt some version of this pressure yourself. You get paid, you cover your bills, you try to be responsible, and somehow, the money just disappears. And what's worse is, it doesn't feel like you're doing anything wrong. So where is it all going? Let's break this down slowly. Because the answer isn't obvious. And it's not just one thing. It's a system of small, almost invisible pressures that add up over time. According to recent data in the United States, the average cost of raising a child can reach around $17,000 per year. Now pause for a second and do the math. For a family with 3 kids, that's over $50,000 a year. Just on the children. And that number doesn't include the emotional and time cost, just the financial side. So here's a question. How much of your income is already spoken for before you even touch it? Think about this family again. Let's say their combined income is around $80,000 a year after taxes. That sounds reasonable, right? But now start subtracting. Housing alone in many mid-tier cities can easily take up 20 to 30% of income. Add utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, school expenses, clothing, and suddenly that $80,000 starts shrinking very quickly. And here's where things get interesting. Because most of these expenses don't feel optional. They feel necessary. But what if the real problem isn't just the big expenses? What if it's the ones you don't notice? Let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you actually tracked every single dollar you spent for a full month? Not roughly. Not estimating every dollar. Because this is where the story starts to shift. When this family finally sat down and looked at their spending, they didn't find one massive mistake. They found dozens of small ones. Subscription services they forgot about. Frequent takeout because they were too tired to cook. Small impulse purchases that felt harmless in the moment. Individually, none of these seem like a big deal. But together, they were draining hundreds, sometimes thousands, every month. And this leads to a bigger question. If your money is leaking slowly instead of disappearing all at once, would you even notice? Now let's talk about something even more subtle. Lifestyle inflation. This is one of the most dangerous financial traps because it doesn't feel like a mistake. In fact, it feels like progress. Every time this family got a raise, their life improved slightly. A better car. Slightly nicer groceries, more convenience, maybe a few more treat-yourself moments. Nothing extreme, just small upgrades. But here's the catch. Their expenses grew at the same pace as their income. So even though they were earning more, they weren't keeping more. Let me ask you this. Have you ever gotten a raise and still felt like nothing changed financially? Because that feeling is not random. It's the result of a system where your spending quietly adjusts to match your income. And once that happens, you're no longer moving forward. You're running in place. Now add another layer to this. Healthcare. Something most families don't fully account for until it hits them. Premiums, deductibles, unexpected visits. These costs have been rising steadily, and for many families, they take a bigger bite out of income than expected. So here's a question you probably haven't thought about. How much of your financial stress is coming from expenses you can't fully predict? And then there's the psychological side of this. Because money isn't just math, it's behavior. After a long week of work, raising kids, dealing with stress, what do most people want? Relief, comfort, something that makes the effort feel worth it. And that's where the treat yourself culture comes in. A dinner out, a small purchase, something to reward yourself for getting through the week. And again, none of this is inherently bad. But here's the question. What happens when those small rewards become a regular habit instead of an occasional one? Because for this family, those moments added up, not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, consistent way. And over time, that consistency worked against them instead of for them. Now step back for a second and look at the bigger picture. You have high fixed costs, rising living expenses, unpredictable healthcare, lifestyle inflation, and small daily spending habits that feel harmless. None of these alone explain why a family has zero savings. But together, they create a system where saving money feels almost impossible. And here's the part that really makes people uncomfortable. Most of these families don't feel irresponsible. They feel stuck. They're doing what they were taught. Work hard, provide for your family, pay your bills, and yet the outcome doesn't match the effort. So the question becomes, is the problem the person, or is it the system they're operating in? Because once this family realized what was actually happening, they had a choice to make. Continue doing what they had always done and hope things somehow change, or start questioning everything about how they handled money. And what they discovered next is where things begin to shift. But it's also where most people hesitate, because it requires changing habits that feel completely normal. So let me ask you this before we go further. If your current financial habits haven't created the life you want yet, what makes you think more time will fix it? Because in the next part, we're going to break down the exact turning point for this family. The moment they realized what needed to change. The 3 simple but powerful strategies they used to go from zero savings to building momentum in just 6 months. And why most people know these strategies, but still don't apply them. And trust me, the first step they took is probably not what you expect. And here is where everything starts to shift. Because what changed for this family was not a sudden increase in income, not a lucky break, and not some extreme lifestyle overhaul that made life miserable. It was something much simpler, but also something most people overlook, because it does not feel dramatic enough to matter. So let me ask you this. What if the reason most families never build savings is not because they cannot afford to, but because their system is working against them every single day without them realizing it? The first change they made was almost invisible, but it was powerful. They stopped treating saving as something that happens at the end of the month, and started treating it as something that happens first. Before bills, before groceries, before anything else, a small percentage of their income was automatically moved into a separate savings account. And I want you to really think about this. If you only save what is left over, how often is there actually anything left? For most people, the answer is almost never. But when saving happens first, everything else adjusts around it. It is uncomfortable at the beginning, yes, but over time it becomes normal. They did not start big. That is the key. They started with something almost laughably small, $50 per paycheck. And here is the question most people would ask. Can that really make a difference? But that is the wrong question. The better question is, what does consistency do over time? Because $50 turns into $100, then $200, then eventually more as habits strengthen. Within 3 months they had something they had not had in years. A buffer. Not a huge one, but enough to absorb a small unexpected expense without panic. And that small shift created something even more important than money. It created confidence. Because for the first time, they were not reacting to life. They were preparing for it. Now here is the second strategy. And this is where things get a little uncomfortable again. They chose one major expense category and decided to cut it aggressively. Not everything. Just one. And I want you to think about your own life right now. If you had to pick one category that drains the most money without giving you proportional value, what would it be? For this family, it was food. Not groceries, but everything around it. Take out convenience meals, last-minute fast food runs after long days. When they actually added it up, the number shocked them. Hundreds of dollars every month, sometimes more. And it did not feel like a big expense in the moment because it was spread out. $10 here, $20 there. But over time, it became one of the biggest leaks in their entire budget. So they made a simple change. They did not eliminate it completely. That would not be realistic. Instead, they set clear limits. Fewer takeout nights, more planned meals, bulk grocery shopping. And here is the interesting part. Not only did they save money, but they also felt more in control of their routine. Less last-minute stress. Fewer impulsive decisions. So let me ask you this. What would happen if you cut just one major expense in your life by even 20%? Not everything. Just one thing. Because that one change could free up hundreds of dollars every month without completely changing your lifestyle. Now the third strategy is where things really start to compound. And it ties everything together. They began using what is often called micro-saving. And I know that term might sound insignificant, but stay with me because this is where behavior starts to shift in a powerful way. Every time they spent money, small amounts were automatically rounded up and saved. A purchase of $12.50 became $13, with the extra 50 cents going into savings. At first, it felt meaningless, but over time, those small amounts added up quietly in the background. And more importantly, it changed how they thought about spending. Because now, every purchase had a small reminder attached to it. A subtle signal that said, part of this is going toward your future. And that mental shift matters more than people realize. It turns saving from something separate into something integrated into everyday life. Now let me ask you something important. How different would your financial situation look if saving was not something you had to think about, but something that happened automatically every single day? Within 6 months, this family went from having zero savings to having a few $1,000s set aside. Not life-changing money yet, but enough to change how they experienced life. The constant anxiety started to fade. Unexpected expenses no longer felt like emergencies. And for the first time in a long time, they could actually think beyond the next paycheck. But here is the part I want you to really understand. Their income did not dramatically increase during this time. Their life did not suddenly become easier. The system changed. And that changed everything. So what is the real reason they had zero savings before? It was not laziness. It was not lack of effort. It was not even low income. It was the absence of a system that made saving inevitable instead of optional. And that leads to a question I want you to sit with. If your current system continues exactly as it is today, where will you be 1 year from now? Will anything actually change? Or will it just feel like more of the same? Because here is the truth most people avoid. Financial progress is rarely about one big decision. It is about small decisions repeated consistently in the right direction. And once you understand that, you stop looking for shortcuts and start building systems. So here is what I want you to take away from this story. You do not need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You do not need to make extreme sacrifices that you cannot sustain. But you do need to make one decision. To stop leaving your financial future to chance. Start small. Automate one piece of your finances. Identify one expense you can reduce. Create one habit that moves you forward, instead of keeping you stuck. Because those small steps, repeated over time, are what separate people who stay in the cycle from those who break out of it. And before you go, I want you to think about this. What is the one change you could make today that your future self would thank you for? Not 5 years from now. Not someday. Today. If this story felt familiar, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more real, practical insights on how to take control of your money in a system that is not always designed to make it easy, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because your financial future is not decided by how hard you work. It is decided by how you manage what you keep.